Welcome to the presentation of Software Engineering Lab. This is about experiment 1, and before doing this experiment you have to select a project title. Any title you can refer based on your past experience. You have come across different project title. Mainly we have selected some IoT based project that's good for you, and otherwise some automizing projects also you can consider, some automation system for any kind of application. But if you're considering the older system like railway reservation, library management system, you have to think and you have to introduce something new over there. So such kind of projects you have to decide first. So that is why in this experiment you have to design a project. Based on that project you're going to prepare a report about the project. So the report of the project supposed to goes like this as per the title, and we are just going to study an existing project. Okay, and you're going to introduce some of the new things over there. So the title of the experiment is you have to do an analysis and you have to prepare a planning through study of problem and scope, objectives and infrastructure. So you have to write an aim. We are going to identify the scope and objectives as well as the infrastructure of the particular project. So what's the aim of the project you have to mention here. After that, you have to mention about the title of the project. That is, whatever hints given in red color will be useful when you prepare the report. So while you submit your report, you just remove these red color points. So, for example, here they have mentioned like a fingerprint coding system. As per this, okay, form a short title for your project. And then objectives. So here comes you have to identify what's the main aim of this particular project. So you have to write about, for example, fingerprint voting system. The main objective is to allow the user to vote, and based on which are the data, that is, you have to make them eligible, and then only they can go for voting. And you have to stop and avoid people who should not do voting as per certain criteria, as well as you have to count and you have to announce the results. So the final report generation and tracking of all the log which are entered inside a particular application. So all these are the main objective. The key points alone you are going to write. The scope, you are going to describe little more detail about the objective. So we are going to explain you this application. We are going to develop what type of user, who are the users, and how this is allowing people to go for voting, and how it is stopping users from voting, and how it is monitoring and controlling the users. So likewise, you have to write some 5 points about that. You have to explain more about your objective in the scope. And then the history. So here comes you're going to explain the existing projects which are related with your title. So in the beginning, how the voting system was, and at present, and after a year, okay, in the future, how it is going to be, and how you are proposing that your voting system idea will work. So like that, you have to write some of the introduction as well as some different countries you can point it out, and you can write about different voting system, existing voting systems, advantages and drawbacks. So here comes you're going to make some 10 paragraphs and you're explaining the complete history, that is the survey on a particular project. Okay, so that project title, what you have chosen. Then you have to write about the limitations, 5 to 10 points, the main drawback or the gaps that you have identified, the main problem and the issue that you have identified, and you're going to solve it. So those points you have to put it here. And then you have to write an approach, the methodology or the procedure or the process that which is the best that you are giving. So that you have to write. So here comes you have to explain with at least one block diagram and describe this block diagram. So what is the input and what is the process and what is the output? For sometimes some application which doesn't require some input, it is automatically may process and it may generate the output. So the prediction based applications, okay, so sometimes it may take some past data and can predict the future. So likewise, you have to explain the small flow chart, and then you have to, at least a diagram must have a 10 small blocks, and you have to explain the complete flow of the particular project, how you can implement it, what are the hardware, how it takes the hardware, and how it connects the hardware, which are the server applications, server side hardware as well as client side hardware systems. You have to describe in detail in the methodology. Small blocks. What is the input? What is the process and output? You have to explain. And the constraints also. That means, as I have told, how you make a person eligible, how you will say that a person is not eligible, how you will say that the person who did the voting is right or valid or invalid. So likewise, you have to write some brief a note on the methodology, the procedure or process about the particular software. And when you write the block diagram, you have to give a title for the block diagram in the below the diagram, like figure 1 and the name of the block diagram. Then you have to say the benefits of the proposed system, 5 to 10 points you have to describe. And what is the major problem statement the proposed system considered for and giving a solution. So that also you have to mention here. And then more detail about this particular project, what is the data, how it is processed, how it is secure, and what is the backup data, how it may help for future election system. So is there any need of improvement? So one by one, step by step process you have to explain below the title of project description. In case if there is any small diagrams related to the particular application is there, you have to put it here. So finally you have to say that, okay, just write a result that you have done the study completely and it is successfully done. So this is how we are going to explain experiment 1. So considering I just want to give you the summary. So you're just going to consider one new project that may be an existing one, but you're proposing something new over there. So what is this project actually? What is the aim, objective, and how it works, and what is the benefit of it, and how each blocks works. So all those things you are going to describe in experiment number 1. So that's all about experiment number 1, and you have to prepare and do a study and prepare this documentation as per this. So document the content and apply Times New Roman 12, the same template, use it, and subheadings, I'll just give you instructions on formatting part, Times New Roman 12 everywhere, and the main title and this, all subtitles are supposed to be in bold, and there is no colon at the end. Wherever there is a points, okay, so apply 1 2 3, and remove all the red color hints once you have done the final documentation before uploading. Remove all this short for just for your reference. And name the diagrams, each and every small diagrams. When you have, you just name all the diagrams. So this is how you have to prepare a 5 pages report. Expand this content so it may cover up to 5 pages, and when it is done, you compile and submit. Thank you.